Hello. Oh, pardon me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Verbling. Hi there. I'm Teacher Oakley. And in this class, I bring you another strange and unusual topic for discussion. Okay. This week, I'm kind of doing a series on hypothetical ideas and discussing probability, using probability, conditional sentences, using modals to talk about what would happen if. What if questions. Today's what if question, what if there were a reliable method of teleportation invented tomorrow? What if you could simply go outside to a booth and push a couple buttons and you were in Miami Beach? What if large pieces of cargo could be shipped by teleportation? Okay, 1,000 barrels of oil could be shipped from the Arabian Gulf to the Pacific coast of California in the United States merely by pressing some buttons. Doot, 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 beep. And it was there. What if? Okay, put on your thinking caps because we're going to discuss the different different elements of modern society that would likely change. How would they change? We can make suppositions and guesses and theories. So, okay, join me now, and we'll see if we can enjoy this little discussion. All right, let me welcome y'all to the class. Hello, Heidi.
Hello. Nice to
Hi
see
again.
you.
Likewise. Hello, Isaac.
Hi, teacher.
Hi.
Good morning from
Morning.
Spain.
Good morning, or good afternoon from the Philippines. Good to see you again. Hello, Luis.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Terrific. Thanks for joining. Hello, Luo. Good to see you as always.
Yes, hello, nice to see you again. And how's your lunch?
It was good. I had the classic Filipino dish, chicken adobo, for lunch. It's quite good.
Oh, nice to hear.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you. And hello, Michael. Greetings.
Hello, Sir Oakley. How are you?
Sir Oakley. Yeah, I love that. Okay. All right. Okay. Our topic today, a little bit weird. What, consider as we start to discuss, what areas of modern society, besides, well, I mean, including obvious ones, transportation, shipping and economy, what areas of modern human society would be changed if we didn't need to carry things around by using airplanes and trains and automobiles, but in fact, we could teleport instantly. Do-do-do-do-do. Bing, and you're in a different place. Heidi, what do you think? What is one area where society may change if we could all teleport?
Or teleport.
Yeah. What if science developed a way of teleportation, a way to make teleportation possible? And believe me, they are working on this. This is not as insane as it sounds.
I would be teleported to some southern hemisphere.
Well, okay, you would enjoy a nice vacation, but think bigger. How would society change? How would your country, what aspects of society, transportation, government, economy, I don't know, religion, who knows, whatever you guys come up with, what do you think might change in society?
society. I'm very comfortable living in Japan, so maybe
Okay.
everything if changed, I would be very sad.
Well, okay. I think, in my view, if there was teleportation, there was no need of the oil and gas industry, for example. Let's just take one small, obvious example, okay,
Mm-hmm.
to start out with. You don't need air travel. Would airlines even exist
Mm-hmm.
if there were like telephone booths that people could go in and just do push buttons, and you could go to your local mall, you could
Mm-hmm.
go to local places, you could go to your church, you could go halfway around the world.
Yeah.
So, okay,
My
how?
my case, as I mentioned before, I want to move to southern hemisphere, maybe to autumn season or winter. Winter is too cold.
Ah,
For autumn season.
let's consider that for a second. Okay, how would that affect societies around the world? Hello, what if all the old people who already do this in the United States, this is very common, they're called snowbirds, all
Mm-hmm.
right? We have a name for them. They like to go down to Florida in the wintertime, and then they go back north to New England or Chicago or wherever in the summer to enjoy the summer in the northern places where it's not quite so hot. What if there was teleportation and it was cheap? And there's another point of discussion. Would it be cheap, or would somebody figure out how to make a lot of money? It's something else to talk about. What if half the population of the Earth moved to Australia every winter?
Many people would move to other place. Summer season, very comfortable place, depends on the season.
Yeah, all right. Well, would that cause chaos? Would, like, Tahiti become overpopulated and become like a slum because there's 10 billion people that want to, or 10 million people that want to go to Tahiti in the winter? Hmm. Hmm. Think about that. Okay. Uh, Isaac, let me talk to you for a minute. Can you think of some parts of society that would change, or do you have any ideas about
Yeah.
how?
Well,
Yeah.
I think the transport companies would change. This this technology would affect their jobs, but mm, in case that they could adapt at this time, uh, these future machines of teleportation could be owned by there. Could be
Aha.
the new transport companies.
Right. Okay. So you might have a booth that you can step in for Delta, or another booth for Cathay Pacific, or another booth
Uh, I
for
think they don't
Qantas.
uh, they they don't let uh, escape this opportunity.
Right. But, you know, an interesting, I agree with you. They probably would try to enter the market, but an interesting question, how would they, now modern airlines differentiate themselves in comfort of the passenger, the food on the flight, their
Mm.
reliability and customer service. There's many things that uh, that we, the consumer, choose this airline over that airline. Price, of course. But of course, if you could instantly go from here to Miami Beach, it's not like you're worried about the food or the comfort. How would they compete with one another?
Well, I don't know, but
I don't either.
it's a undiscovered world. But for sure, uh, uh, it will affect lots of people. Jobs. Talking
For
about
sure.
jobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe they can compete with the quality of their telephone lines. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the internet, we have a very fast telephone line, so you can move to Miami within 1 second. There is no
Wow.
delay.
Right? It might take 30 seconds, or it might take 5 seconds, like loading a web page. Okay. All
You
right.
would need
Good point.
to know the price.
Right?
Already.
Interesting. Okay. Right. Okay. Wild. So, Luis.
Yes, teacher,
Luis?
I'm here.
Yeah. Hi, Luis. Well, what do you think? How do you think teleportation would affect society? You have any ideas?
What does? Okay. Could you explain me something about what is that word, please?
Yeah, I should write it too. My mistake. Teleportation is the concept or the idea of moving one object to another from in one location. Boop. Oh, there it is over there. From
Okay, I understand.
traveling through space without actually moving through the space in between. Basically.
Okay, and could be in 5 seconds or 10 seconds, something like that.
Well, I don't know. We're
Could be.
dealing with hypotheticals, imaginary, right now. Although I will add, Luis, that even they have already conducted experiments with subatomic particles. All right, very, very, very tiny things, where they have been able to do exactly this. Boop, it's here, now it's here, and it has been instantaneous. Basically, no lapse of time. It's gone, it's there. And that experiment has already been conducted, and it's already been reconducted. It's been done. So this whole concept is not completely as insane as it may seem.
Actually, they have a lot of time talking about that. This topic is not new right now because I've seen a lot of movies about that in the past. It's like, do you remember Back to the Future or something like that? I don't remember exactly what's the name of the movie, but I think it's something like that. And well, I think it's will be a good idea for us. Could be to do things like that. Transporting something in a few minutes or a few seconds to have that.
So our discussion today is how would that affect society? Maria, where are you? Join us. I'm sorry, Luis, just a second. Maria points out that it would be very expensive. I just want to point out that, yes, moving this tiny, tiny subatomic particle from A to B took an enormous amount of energy. So, yeah, that's true. Now, as it exists, it's kind of ridiculous because it takes a really huge amount of energy to do this. Yeah, but anyway, Luis, you're saying. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, all right. This has come up in several fiction novels and movies, and and all of that, right? So, okay, what I want to kind of discuss today is how would that affect, I mean, day-to-day life and society. For example, what would be you wouldn't need subway stations and subways. You wouldn't need cars. Would people even live in cities? What would be the point? If I could instantly go to my lovely house on the mountainside in the country after work, would you really need cities? I mean, what would people live in cities, or would cities just be areas where people go to work?
I think in the future.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I think in the future, the cities are gonna be just a place for to work, because we're going to use our other transportations to move. I think that it's not going to be necessary to use cars for transportation or subways. We're going to use teleportation. I think that will be better, because you're not going to be in the highways. You are not going to wait hours standing for the traffic.
Wouldn't that be nice if traffic jams were just an ancient memory, like riding on a wagon or riding a horse?
Yeah.
People thought traffic jams. Oh yeah, and you see traffic jams like in movies about the old times.
Maybe you have problems in the cosmos.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, let me keep it moving here. Luo, what do you think? Can you imagine any repercussions of such a technological advance?
Yes, I think it's highly possible, but I don't think it will build in everywhere. I mean, the teleportation point. It's like an airport, and we still need the traditional way to like vehicle, and but link to some important to point A or B, like America or in China, we could build one point in the US and one point in China. But I don't think they will build it everywhere. And I think there's another solution for this technology. You know, we can scan our body for every details, and we can record our memory in one side, and we can transfer our data to other side, and print ourselves by 3D technology, 3D print technology by a biological cell, and re-implant our memory to our body. And that's another solution. Don't need so much energy, but it still cannot be built everywhere. I think it's like an airport, built in some important places.
Okay. Right. Okay. Very good. Okay. 3D copy of yourself. Ooh, that brings up very interesting philosophical arguments. Okay, if you completely copy yourself and then reproduce yourself somewhere else, are you really you? Ooh. Wow. Okay, heavy stuff. Thanks, Luo. Good points there. Michael, can you think of any major repercussions?
What is that, repercussions?
Repercussions similar to results. A repercussion. Okay. Of course, if I drive my car into a tree, the immediate repercussions are it will smash my car, it will injure me. Results, basically.
Okay. Clear. So,
okay.
Basically, I was thinking while you were speaking. So there, like, I think that you should consider that you can transport some illegal things with you, like guns, drugs, and things like that. So there are always bad people. Somewhere you'll find party poopers that like to do something bad to your country or to your city or to your neighborhood or something. So like thieves and things like that. Just because of that, I think that there would not be so many this kind of teleportation booths, as you said, like in every part of the city, because it is potentially dangerous for. So the police should somehow control people that are going in, going out. So basically, either you should go there without anything in hands, like just you, and you can easily like go from point A to point B. Or if you hold like a bag or something, somehow should be checked. So there should be like machines that check if you don't have something illegal. But in contrast, what I want to say that if we, at the time when we have these teleportation booths, so I assume we would have these machines that controls automatically if you have a gun, like drugs and things like that. I mean, do you understand what I mean? You enter in that booth, and if you have that thing, they detect it.
Some sort of automatic scanner within the equipment itself.
Yeah. I assume if we have teleportation booths, will be those things. So my point is wiki, a little bit wiki. That yeah, we can have lots of teleportation booths, but we should have like people that control in some way, and of course we would not need like buses, taxis, cabs, and things like that. Cars, I assume, or will be, but in few, like not many, as we see nowadays. And of course, some businesses will close down.
Yeah.
Like might be touristic businesses. There would not be so many touristic companies. You could plan yourself. Like there could be websites that like nowadays in the US, there's like cars, like a company that provides. Have you ever heard of this, or have you ever seen in your city? So a company that provides cars. And you go on the site and you like book a car, and it's near you, somewhere near you should be, like on your street. And you just go with a card and you open that car with your card, like you have from that company a card. And you open and you go into it and you drive where you need and you let that car there. And that's all. And someone else can take your car.
Okay. Now, I'm not exactly familiar with that. There are definitely, I do know about, there are many cities that have taxi cab applications where you can just call on your smartphone and get a reliable taxi anywhere, anytime, which is very instantaneous. But anyway, okay.
But did you understand my idea about these cars or no? I mean, you have a company that just have cars on the street.
They're like shared cars, almost, kind of.
Yeah, and if you need a car, you just go on their website, book the car, you see where it's located, and usually it's located near you somewhere. You have a car, and you go to that car, and you have like a credit card thing from that company. It's a key for a car, and you open that car, you enter, and you and you pay like $10 or $8 per hour. It costs in the U.S., like in Chicago. I've seen. On the website.
It'd be great for businessmen, I guess. For example.
But they have logos on their cars, like logos of that company, so you all the people knows that you use their service of that company.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, in the United States, they already do anyway. All rental cars have somewhere on the car, there's logos of the company.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Nader, do you have any ideas about how teleportation would affect society? Michael started out by bringing up a huge area here: crime, smuggling. Hello, how easy would smuggling be? Okay.
Actually, I think for this sort, governments will cooperate with communications companies. So a criminal will be blacklisted by Vodafone in USA, but he may be allowed to travel to UK. So those people will be blacklisted in so many countries, those criminals. So this one will be a security measure that can prevent those criminals from coming to your area or your country or your home.
Right.
But there is a simpler problem, like your mother-in-law is calling. Hello, how are you? Where are you? You say, I'm at home. We are coming. So what? We are here. That's another simple question. Another simple problem that you cannot avoid. So unless you don't have a telephone line at your house or in your house.
Right. Okay, I'll be over in a second. Ding, I'm here. Yeah, that's kind of very funny. Yeah, it may actually change some, politeness, social mores, social etiquette, I should say. It may affect social etiquette.
Yeah, and it will, hinder lies. When your wife tells you, "Where are you now?" You say, "I'm at the office or I'm shopping, so I'm coming to you. Let's have fun, have some fun."
Yeah, right. Ooh, very okay. Now these are interesting points. Would people have to be more honest?
Sure, they have to be.
Okay. Or could they be less honest? Oh, I'm at the office, but really he's secretly at his lover's house. But he can easily transport. No, I don't know. Gray area. I have no idea. Interesting points. Okay, Artheli. Hi, you.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you. You joined the class a little late, but do you have the idea of what we're talking about here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
well, I don't know. You have. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, we're talking about teleportation, and if it was possible to transfer from one place to another instantly, how would that affect modern society? How would it affect? I don't know. Transportation is the obvious effect, but also economy, politics. We haven't really talked about crime. We barely talked about. We haven't really talked about shipping. What if you could move fresh water, rice, pineapples from one place to another instantly? We haven't even talked about that yet, but anyway. What is something that you think would be affected if teleportation was a real thing?
Well, there are some things maybe you have talked about them. For example, we have said it would be very expensive, probably. So maybe only rich people would be able to do like executives for their jobs, and maybe this will divide the society because poor people will use a traditional transportation means. So it will be like different thing. And for example, I suppose large companies executives will be using this all the time. For example, at multinational companies will be more common and everywhere. So it wouldn't mind where the company is located because they could have meetings with people from all the world easily. Yeah, for example, an executive could have a meeting at 9 a.m. in Tokyo and and 11 in New York, and then the other part of the world, like that. And so I think business will be a little different, and probably there will be many less differences between countries because people will get to get mixed and knew each
Ah,
other's much better. And
there's an
probably,
interesting point. Yeah.
I think, yeah, because I was thinking about, Berlin, and you get to know people here from all over the world and very different ways of life and things and languages, but you just talk every day to people mm, uh, from other places, and so you get a lot of knowledge about them. So I think this will be huge with this. So
Yeah.
it will
Okay.
be like an international society or something like that.
There you go. Well,
And
okay. Okay. Another point. Go ahead.
yeah, I think about tourism. Too, and you said that it will disappear, but I don't think so. I mean, travel agencies maybe they will disappear in the way we know them,
Mm,
but it would be very nice to tourism would be like not I'm going to visit Australia, I will spend a month. No, it will be like this evening I'll go to Sydney
yeah.
for a while, for a couple of hours, and maybe this weekend I'm going to spend the morning in Amsterdam and like that.
All right. Let's have
So
lunch in
it would be
Paris and
nice.
we'll have dinner in Rome. Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, but I
Terrific.
think touristic cities would offer many interests anyway, and people just would be easily traveling all day. So it will, or probably tourist agencies will have to explain you can go to this place for an evening and not organize trips to a country, but for many different countries. And
Mm.
I've also thought about learning languages. It will be different, of course,
Yeah.
and probably it will be easier because yes, just now you say you have to learn, you need English, you have to travel abroad, and but this wouldn't be necessary at all this way. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
people will travel for a couple of hours to practice their English to the
Yeah, right.
United States and
You'll
then come
see.
back to their countries like that.
See, I would be out of a job. Or I would lose my
Yeah,
job.
no, yes, no, no,
Uh,
no. I'm not sure because English teachers, I've always thought about that. Native English teachers would be maybe cheaper because, for example, if you go
ah,
to Spain and you look for a native English speaker, it's not, there are many, but not so many. But this way, for example, anyone who is in the States and hasn't a job, okay, I'm going to teach English in the Philippines because in my spare time
ah,
I'm just a student and at college, but in the evenings or Saturdays,
ah,
well, something like
okay.
you're actually yeah can do through Berlin, but presential teaching or not just
Right.
online teaching.
Okay. Interesting. And one of the most interesting points was the whole idea, would the world become more homogenous, more globalized, everyone cross cultures going to different countries? Would every country be like the United States, where you see every race, you hear every language? You know, you go to New York City and you see somebody from everywhere in the first 5 minutes, and you hear 10 different languages. I mean, would everywhere be like that?
Yes,
Interesting.
yes, I think. Yes, it will be so people will be everywhere. So there will be less differences, fewer differences between
But
societies, countries.
But of course, if we're talking about that globalization, what I want to know is, would in fact there be McDonald's and Starbucks everywhere? When you get out of your booth, there's a Starbucks.
Yeah, that
as I
wouldn't
am,
change too much.
as I imagine it, yeah. As I imagine the future, a Starbucks everywhere. Okay. Heidi, has
Yeah.
the conversation sparked any more ideas for you? Any other
Have
ideas.
you ever seen Total Recall?
Yes, I was thinking about it earlier. Something someone else said earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We go some place for vacation, only to have some experience. We don't need to bring our body, only brain, right?
Ah, right. Okay, virtual
Yeah,
holiday.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Bringing our body the waste of energy. So,
Right.
like Schwarzenegger did, we go to some agency. We wear some helmet, like helmet.
Yeah.
Then only my brain experience. For example, today I went to Hawaii. I ate the mahi mahi or a lot of things.
Mm.
I enjoyed a good temperature climate. Or my brain remember. It's enough, I think.
Right. Okay. Well, all right. All righty then. Yeah. Okay. Would we need to even travel or need teleportation if, in fact, we would, if technology also develops virtual experience?
Yes, actually, I walk down the street in Hawaii. Only brain.
Yeah. Right. I know. Heidi, I have to ask you one follow-up question. Did you see the remake of
Total
that
Recall.
movie?
Total Recall.
Yeah,
Another movie.
they remade it. The original one was with.
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Don't
Who
bother. It's horrible.
who played the main character?
I don't even know. I didn't like it. I liked the original one much better.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed that movie as well. Yeah, they remade it. Never mind. Don't waste your time. The original one has Schwarzenegger.
Maybe they
Yeah.
used a lot of computer graphic.
Yeah, and it's just.
I don't like computer graphics so much.
Yeah. Well, You're the one bringing up virtual, virtual reality. That's computer graphics. That's what they are. They're like a step on the way to virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. I like reality most of the time.
Yeah, but the same. You experience.
Right.
Only
Yeah. I get
moving
the
your,
idea. I
not your
fully
hand,
understand.
not your leg.
Right. Nevertheless, even if there was virtual reality and people didn't actually need to teleport anywhere else at all, still there's the matter of feeding the people and drinking water, which is becoming more and more important every day. And so if teleportation existed and it was somehow reasonable as far as money and energy, which is really a huge question, but if it was, and you could bring water to the Sahara. You could bring plenty of water to Saudi Arabia, or you could bring food to Africa for starving people. Okay, Isaac, play around. What do you think about that? If you could transport anything, anywhere.
It would be a good point for these emergency situations.
Okay.
Mm. The,
Ooh.
the quickness of the help
Yeah.
would be great.
Actually, and I didn't consider the fact evacuations, like for a
Yeah,
typhoon
right.
or a hurricane or an earthquake or tsunami. Ooh, tsunami, where it's you only have
Instant,
60
instantly.
seconds. Yeah.
Mhm. But a big container to transport the people.
Everyone in! We're going! Okay. True. But what would that do to the economy if you could transport goods instantly? Would that help the economy? Would things be cheaper? Or
Well, yes, but at this time, how we know the world, I think the change is very big. It affects all that we know actually. The time, price, companies, people, jobs.
Yeah,
That
I agree. The changes would be
it's
enormous.
yeah. There are a lot of things to think and change
Yeah,
for this change in world.
very true. And of course, if we could teleport from Manila to Miami Beach, surely the technology wouldn't be very far behind where we could teleport from Earth to Mars.
Yeah,
Or
and it would
possibly,
depend
yeah.
the country too, because I think there mm, the technology mm, it wouldn't be the same in the United States, for example, in Africa or other countries,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know, or the companies put this technology in all countries, you know.
Ah, okay. An interesting idea. How fast would the technology spread around the world? Well,
Yeah,
what if,
because in each country, for example, at this time, the mobile companies works different in the United States, in Europe, or in countries
ah,
uh, more more poor, like Africa, or you know,
yep,
it's
yep.
are less quickly, are expensive than other countries. I don't
Okay.
know.
Even different laws and rules
Yeah,
uh, of how to conduct business in these new technological areas. In fact, they're still making up the laws. Really, they're
yeah,
still making up the laws. Yeah,
like Araceli is right on the box.
yeah. You can move to areas with no teleportation coverage. Yeah, and I'd be willing to bet that people would do that on purpose, so they wouldn't have lots of crazy people be able to come visit their area at any moment.
Yeah,
Um,
or you would need a mobile device, teleportation mobile device.
yeah. Okay. Well, okay. That's a lot of questions. The development of this technology, how would that transpire?
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's going to be
Or
different in different places.
immigration laws, uh,
Immigration laws. Yeah,
lots
absolutely.
of laws
Wow.
and stuff.
Yeah, things we can't even imagine, I suppose.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, right. It would be
It's a
overwhelming.
whole world.
Yeah, well, how long have we had social networks and they're still struggling with the laws for social networks and social network conduct? And it's different, very different in different countries. And
Mm.
whew,
Yeah, by
um,
step, it
step
will
by step, I
arrive.
guess. Yeah, right. Um, and I wonder, okay, now that you mention that, and I'm thinking about the internet and social networks, what if there were such a thing as teleportation hackers? You could hack into a system and somebody's shipping, 50 kilos of diamonds. You could kind of hack into the system and take it, or hack into the system and kidnap the president of the United States, as he was teleporting to Geneva for a UN Council meeting. Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's important. It's important. Security.
security would be optimum importance. Michael brought that up earlier, and I think it would have to be extremely well thought out how to, yeah, the
New
security.
business, teleportation security.
Yeah, there you go. I should start the business now. You can buy stock, Isaac, very cheap. $1 a share. All right, Teleportation Security Incorporated, right here, right now. Let's go. We can be business partners, Isaac. Let's start.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're in business. Okay, Michael, would you like to buy some stock? I have an amazing opportunity for you.
Maybe in 20 years from now, if you show me this opportunity, but I don't see it. Anyways, in the next 100 years, so.
Yeah, well, they didn't see computers in 1930 either, but.
Well, you shouldn't compare you shouldn't compare like computers and teleportations. Those are like two. For me, at least, as I see, it's a more complicated thing to do. I mean, computers. If you learned like electronics, learned like things like that, they're quite simple. I mean, when you break down in pieces, when you analyze each piece, how it works. I learned like in school. I told you, I think, that I was in like an I don't know, extracurricular activity. Yeah. So after school, I went to like course or something, and and I've learned like electronics. So basically, it's very simple. Computer very simple works.
All right, maybe 100 years might be reasonable if you consider when the first light bulb was made, the first telephone. 100 years later, and we've got the internet and computers and all like that, and not to mention, 100 years is a long time when it comes to technology. That's a long time. So anything's possible in 100 years, in my opinion.
Yeah, anything. But my brain at least cannot see this opportunity now. It cannot see my brain. Maybe your brain can see, but
my brain can imagine it. But my brain also realizes there are other technological advances that no one has thought of yet, which my children or grandchildren will see. No one's even conceived of yet. That happens. But anyway. What was I going to say? Oh, Isaac put some sort of an obscure comment in the chat box here. While oil exists. Okay. Question: would teleportation even be allowed? I mean, would there be covert operations from the oil companies and the rich oligarchs to clamp down on any such technology, even if it were being developed? What do you think, Michael?
Well, I think in some way, yes, you would have this kind of pressure, like maybe restrictions. But as we can see, like nowadays, there are electric cars appear, more and more electric cars. And at least in the United States, what I've seen, they're like you can charge your car with so gas stations for electric cars. How would you name them? Gas
charging stations?
Yeah, charging stations. There are lots of charging stations, and you can buy like electric car. So, but I'm not sure how it's created the electricity for those charging stations. Do they use oil, maybe, or no? There is some batteries.
There's some batteries, but of course they've got to charge the batteries if they're going to swap out a battery. So, yeah, here's the problem, that there has to be energy to do teleportation. There has to be energy to create these things. But solar energy, solar energy. hydrogen, hydrogen fuels, and these ideas have been around for a long time. Solar panels, and it seems to me, okay, computers went very fast from Commodore 64 to your smartphone now that has 8,000 functions. That 30 years, but solar energy, electric cars, they've been around for even longer than, but the technology seems to be going so slow. Hydrogen fuels, sometimes I wonder how much technology is being suppressed by the oil companies just so they can keep their grip on the world, really, and the world economy. Yeah.
How do you see these suppressive actions? What have you seen, but not words, but facts? Like, what have you seen?
Okay, you should Google patents bought by oil companies, and you will see what I mean. They often buy patents for new technologies that would compete with oil or gas-burning cars. It is common knowledge, and it's easy to find. They do, but then they don't develop this patent.
Okay.
For example.
Yeah, that's very bad. What they're doing.
Yeah, and yeah, it is.
And also, they may have a lobby in government, and they don't don't change the laws for something.
Yes, there's another area, huge area, as a matter of fact. Yeah, government lobbies. My goodness, in the United States, they added lead additives. Lead, which is now, we all know, is very harmful. It really can harm children. They added lead to gasoline regularly, starting in 1930s or 40s, I'm not sure. They did it up until the 70s. They knew in the 50s that it was actually physically killing people. But government lobbies, the oil lobby, suppressed that information repeatedly over and over again, and they continued to kill people for another 25 years. There's another example for you, and that's all well documented. Basically, they kill people, and they get away with it because they have money. Okay, that's just my opinion. So, technologies like this that we're talking about, I'm afraid that they would be retarded, suppressed, slowed down. But anyway, Knitter.
Yes.
So,
hi. Hi again. So yes, we have so many questions here. Will all people be ready to use it? Will all people be willing to use it? Because some people are not willing to use new technology. Some people, when you ask him to use teleportations, he says, "No, I am an old-fashioned person. I'm using rockets or planes, whatever."
Right.
So,
and you would have some people would have teleportation phobia.
Yes, it's everywhere. Elevation phobia, whatever, anything you imagine. So some people are not willing, as you said, like the president of the United States or famous people like movie stars. They will not allow people to come to their areas. So we have to have like red zones for this. It's where it's not allowed to use this technology, and we have so many complications for any new technology.
Can you imagine like seeing 50,000 people in Antarctica because they want to see the penguins, because they watched they watched Happy Feet, the movie, and then
yes, or March of the Penguins or something. People will get,
right, and then suddenly there's a million people that think they want to go see the penguins today, and so 2 weeks later, all the penguins are dead. For example, I mean, think about that. The mass. Okay, think about the Arab Spring and the mass uprisings that happened so quickly. What if people could instantly teleport to anything, any place that they suddenly found interesting? Holy smokes! You would have 100,000 people at the crash site of the airplane in the Ukraine. You know, suddenly, just gawkers, people who want to see.
But
You know what I mean?
unless there is a phone booth there, they cannot come there.
Right. So there would have to be a way to shut down the phone booth or the station
Yes,
instantly.
or
Yeah.
block it.
Block it. Right. There would
Or
have to be.
yes, and some people will be afraid this teleportation phobia may be linked to busy lines. You may get lost in the middle of your journey.
I'm sure people would be extremely nervous about that.
It will not be very safe.
All right. If you think about how many times your internet connection has dropped in your life, yeah, would
If there
you?
is a power outage or something, then your life is gone.
Right. Would you be willing
You
to
have to-
risk your life on your internet connection? Really? Would you?
No,
Yeah.
sure not.
Very good point. Yeah. Very funny. I would never. No way. Okay. Would be frightening.
And they will, every time you use any new technologies, they say like it's 90% safe.
Yeah. Every time. That's what they say. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, funny. Of course, with all the mathematical computations done, it would be possible for humans to visit Barnard's Star, Betelgeuse, Andromeda. We could actually go to different solar systems if there were Earth-like planets, and we could explore them. Cool. Why not? If distance is of no relevance whatsoever, then why would it matter? If you were able to do the correct calculations. Yeah, great.
Well, Clint, you'll be in 100 years. 100 years, your class will be. You will be called like Nostradamus, because people will watch your class and will say, "Oakley, everything predicted like 100 years before."
I'm going to predict right now, when you get off the station on Barnard Star, you're going to see a Starbucks right outside.
And McDonald's, that's my prediction.
And the McDonald's next to it, with glowing yellow arches. Yes, indeed. Yes, it's a big, brave future we've all got ahead of us. I'm looking forward to it. Yay! Very exciting. Okay, so I hope there is teleportation in the future. Honestly, I think it's a cool idea. But you guys maybe you want to Google teleportation and I forget mesons. I think they teleported mesons. I think that's it. I could be wrong. When I mentioned teleporting subatomic particles, I think these particles are called mesons. I think that's what they were successfully. Meson teleportation. You can check it out. I'm not 100% sure I'm right about that. It's what my memory's telling me. Okay. I love these hypothetical discussions. I enjoy them. I'll be having another one tomorrow at this time if you care to join me. But I'm out of time right now, and I have to close the class down so I can start another one. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me.
We are going to be teleported in 15 seconds.
Yes. I need to teleport to my next class. Bye-bye.